Hey folks, it's Dr. Rowe here. Hope you are all well. It is the end of a Saturday, and well, nearly the end of a Saturday, and it's about 7:30 at night. I've just been in front of a live audience of people that I'm just spending some time with, teaching them about property investing. And what a fantastic image, by the way, I managed to pull up there. Isn't that amazing? And I just wanted to take a few minutes, if that's all right, to reflect more than anything, because something I'm seeing a lot in the audiences that I'm teaching at the moment is fear. And I guess more importantly, attached to that fear is a lack of courage. And it's not a criticism, it's actually an observation. And actually, it's a genuine observation. I think I spoke in front of my first audience when I was, if you want to include like school children and college children, 18 years of age. I was at school. I was doing I think it was my last year at school, and I was teaching outdoor pursuits. And in my summer holidays, during that period going into university as well, I would come back and I would run small outdoor classes to young kids and helping them build their confidence through physical activity, through outdoor pursuits, but also learning about mindset. Because I'd started studying it at such a young age. After my father died, I just seemed to have this attraction to it. That's a fucking long time ago. We're talking about, I'm 56 now. So what's that? 30, oh my God. 38 years, something like that. That's a long time. And, when you're in front of people long enough and you spend enough time watching people, their behavior patterns, you just see patterns in people during certain periods of time. And this last 2 years, without a doubt, in my own living history, has driven, and even the last recession, which was bad, by the way, 2008, 2009, 2010, financially was bad. I haven't seen this much fear and paralysis in people than ever before. And it makes me sad, but it also gives me hope that, in the dark times, there's also an opportunity for people to see light. It's the yin and yang of life. You can't have one without the other. So as much as it has concerned me and it's saddened me and it's given me in times quite a heavy heart, and I mean that from an observational perspective, it's really been like a punch in the stomach, a hot rod up the backside. It's been fuel in my engine to find new ways, new tools, new inspirational ways to encourage people and get them to move forward and make decisions about their financial future, their emotional future. It's such a big subject. I particularly see it when I'm teaching audiences either in the field of like personal development or wealth development. Like this weekend is about property. And people will sit there on money. They'll sit on cash in the bank account and they're afraid to make an investment in themselves. They'll maybe I'll go buy a property, maybe I'll do something, but I'm not sure. What about the market? What about interest rates? My friends have said I shouldn't do this. And so they'll sit and they'll do nothing for months, for years, and it will stagnate, and they'll leave the money in the bank where, by the way, 100,000 in the bank right now is making a loss because inflation is 3%, interest rates is like 0.5%. So if it's being eroded by 3% and 100 grand becomes 97 and it's going up by 0.5%, then your net difference is going to be minus 2.5 at the end of the year. Grand. So you got 97.5 instead of 100 grand at the end of the year. I'm trying to simplify it, but people don't realize that actually they got a guaranteed loss. And yet they won't do anything with that money because they're afraid, what if this and what if that and what if that? So they're stuck in this. It's like a double bind, we call it in psychology. And then I talk about, okay, so why don't you invest in yourself to learn how to do this properly? Oh my gosh, what about the cost of that? And there's this huge fear that comes in. And a lot of this is driven by the observations they made during their youth. And if you're a parent watching this and you want your children to grow up aspirationally, to be courageous and not be afraid, I often say, well, if your children were faced with an opportunity and they were fearful and they said, I'm not sure, what about this? And what would you say to them? And most people say, I tell my kids not to listen to those people. Do it anyway. If you make a mistake, you can get yourself up and dust yourself down and go and do it again. And maybe you want to get in alongside them and help them step by step. So you then become a coach or a mentor to your children. And when they say that to me, I say, well, you're the child. I'm the child. We're just wearing a few more years of life on us, but actually we're the children. So, and then people go, oh my God. So what would you say to yourself if you sat there as a grown you, talking to the grown you as a child, really, you'd go, well, just bloody make the investment, learn, study, go on the courses, pay for a coach, pay for a mentor. It's worth it, because the repercussions are immense if you don't. You can go and buy a thing, or you can invest in you, and the difference is massive. When you buy a thing, it's just a consumption. It's just something you buy for a momentary feeling of gratification. But where you make an investment in yourself, whether you're going on a training course, or you're investing in an education program, or you're a coach that's going to help you, that growth that happens will then allow you to do bigger projects, start a business, sell something, trade the market, buy properties, that then in turn will create more financial security for yourself, or wealth in this example, which then allow you to go and have and do the things that you want to do. Instead of buying the one thing, you can buy many of these things as well. And that may sound a bit confusing, but the truth is, anything invested in yourself to help you grow through difficult times, a particular personal development level, is going to be worth millions of pounds, or emotional positive feelings, or whatever you want to call it, in the future. So I guess my point is this: don't allow your fear of what might happen, or the fear of some of the things that have happened in the past, and believe that it's going to happen in the future. The past doesn't equal the future. You can't drive through life looking in the rearview mirror, because if you keep looking up there going, what if this, what if this, what if that, bang, you're going to hit something straight in front of you, because you're not looking at where the future is. And there's some great opportunities for transformation right now. So read, grow, associate with amazing people. Be mindful of this. Is another conversation I want to have. Studies show that the more screen time people have, particularly following all the shitty news and all the stuff that's going on at the moment and being obsessed with it, oh my God, what about this, what about, literally leads to mental health issues. The studies are shocking. I mean, more than about 4 or 5 hours on a screen, which people are generally spending more than that. It is now proven that it has an impact on people's mental health. So what can you do to detach yourself from this digital world, to reconnect with the real world, to find time to meet and talk and spend time around real people that have aspirations and not drainers, but are radiators of great ideas and opportunities? That's not to say everything's going to work, but life will only give you results, whether they're good or bad, if you push against life and say, I want to move in this direction. The universe pushes back. I mean, it's the law of equal and opposite reaction. So my camera's gone blurry. All right, let me just see if I can. Is that working? It is. I don't even know. Is anybody watching? I can't see now. Right. I'm going to wrap up, because this isn't really helping, is it? There we go. That's a bit frustrating. Anyway, I'm going to end this message by saying, do something inspirational tomorrow. No matter how bad or how shit you're feeling, just find a moment to be grateful for the fact that you've got the ability to listen to this, or the ability to see, or the ability to breathe, the ability to walk, the ability to touch, the ability to feel, the ability to be able to enjoy a meal, or to go and get drunk, or to run naked through the streets if you want to do that, or the fact that you've got people that care about you, your children, your partner, even if it's a remote friend. I mean, you can find any reason to be grateful. It is just a choice. And when you make those choices on a regular and consistent basis, you start to feel better. And that's my personal message to you. All right. So be courageous. And courage comes in small steps. It doesn't have to be something massive. Dr. Rose signing out.